All right. So let's call the meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. Welcome to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee meeting on December 3rd. We'll start with doing approval of our meeting minutes from November 12th. So, sorry, Josh, can I motion or do I need to ask for a motion?
You can usually just ask for a motion. It You as the chair, it isn't that you aren't allowed to motion. It's just normal procedure would be to ask for a motion first.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 12th?
Hey, don't do that.
Approve.
How many?
I approve to
Approve.
Thanks.
review the meeting
Come on,
of last week.
take a chat. You're hungry? Okay. You go to your dinner.
Does that count as our vote or do we still have to vote?
No, so Shirley's actually joining right now.
Okay.
So you might just want to wait just a second, and then she can.
Can anybody hear me out there?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Phil.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. So once you've got that motion in the second, which it sounds like Phil motioned and Jane seconded, you can do a roll call vote. So just go down the line.
Okay. All right. So roll call vote to approve the meeting minutes. Let's start with Jane.
Yes, I.
Thank you. Phil.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley.
Yes.
Thank you. And I also say yes. Motion passes. Minutes are approved.
Perfect.
All right. Next on the agenda is public comment. We do not currently have any members of the public, so we'll move on to our new business for this meeting. So we're starting out with committee member activity reporting. So each of us had a goal that we pursued from the last meeting to this one. So let's report out on our progress. So let's start with Phil, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. Harvard University is happy to provide the training for the $550.
Gotcha.
So that's
Exciting.
that.
All right, good to know. So we can keep that kind of on the back of our minds on whether we want to try to pursue that with any funding that we might be able to procure from somewhere else.
May I just ask a question, Ashley?
Of course.
Philip, is that per person or is that for all the group?
Oh, that's per person. So it's a grad level certificate for DEIB, and they value that, and the person does get a certificate, and they don't have any funds to be able to support it.
All right, good to know. So we'll keep that in mind as we move forward. Thank you for looking into that, Phil.
You're most welcome.
All right, let's have Shirley report out next. Did you make any progress with looking into grant funding, outreach type stuff?
I was supposed to be doing some outreach for grant funding.
Yeah, isn't that what you were working on last time?
I didn't think so.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I don't remember that, but anyway, I've been checking in some funding anyway, and I've been checking out nonprofit funding, and there hasn't been very much up that's been available, but I've continued to look into it though.
okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were looking into state funding.
I didn't know that was my responsibility, but I was doing that.
Okay.
So I did see some things that were, but I don't think they were appropriate for us. But I'm continuing to look and see what's available. Since it's going to be the beginning of the year, and I was looking to nonprofit. So there wasn't anything left over from the year. So I think by January or something they opened up again, because the deadlines were just for for October, November. So I think new grants may be opening up. I'll continue to search group.
Gotcha. Sounds good. I don't know if we're eligible, but you might have already looked into this, but I do know that like the Mass Cultural Council has grant funding for like events. That might be something that we could look into. I just don't know if we would count as an eligible organization.
I looked into Mass Cultural Council also to see if there were any things that we could piggyback on, like community awareness, community forums. So I did check, I was checking them, but as I said, the deadlines for some of those were coming up in October, November. So I'll continue to look for next year.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna go next because I think we can probably spend most of our time today talking about the survey questions that Jane has started. So I totally blanked on sending this to Josh to send to you all until like 2 minutes ago. So I'm just gonna share my screen instead and I'll show you. I've been working on the presentation for the town council meeting. So hopefully everybody can see my screen with the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great, thank you. So you can give me feedback on what you think about this. I thought about having kind of an introduction of committee members. If you all, we don't have to do photos, but if we want to do photos, you could send them to Josh and then he could send them to me and I could put them in here. I put just like a little bit of information about what we do and kind of our roles. Phil, I didn't really have a good thing for you. What do you want me to say for you?
Say for me in terms of what? Like,
Like,
oh, what you want my caption to read?
yeah, so like mine, I put faculty member at BSU, like, for Shirley, retired teacher, helped found the committee, that kind of thing.
Okay, let me get back to you on that. I'll
Okay.
send you something.
Okay, sounds good. And I don't know whether we should include, is her name Stephanie, the person who hasn't really been to the meetings, so we could touch base on that again a little bit later, but then I have this is a screenshot of the ordinance, so a little bit of history about when the town council voted to establish the committee, what we do. There's a recommendation report from the ad hoc DEI committee and the DICE BCCR and some faculty at BSU who did surveys of town residents. And then I put up some of the data from the surveys that we can kind of talk about as, the reason why we want to do, why the committee exists and why we want to do the kind of work we're planning on. That the majority of participants in those surveys said that they've experienced or witnessed identity-based mistreatment. They think that the community is not particularly inclusive. The most prevalent experiences and stories of discrimination about race and ethnicity, and then a little bit less for each of these other categories. These are some of the quotes from people from those survey data. Like growing up, there's been numerous times I've heard obscenities directed toward people of color, police stopping black drivers, asking them to get out of cars for minor infringements like having a headlight out, watching fellow students be bullied by other students because of their sexual orientation and administration does nothing. And this question was about how satisfied they are with town school officials on addressing these types of issues, mostly not satisfied. This is the quick summary of what people in the survey participants said they wanted from the town. And then these are the 4 kind of strategic goals that we have for the committee that we had talked about last time in our meeting, and then what our current priorities and goals are, which right now I just have creating a town belonging survey and potentially collaborating with BCCR to host a belonging forum. And then I'll update the rest of this as we kind of get closer to when we're going to actually do this presentation. And then this is a thank you slide. So that's what I have so far. Does anybody have any suggestions?
I like it.
Thank you.
It looks like a solid start.
Thank you.
It's
Appreciate that.
progress.
I think that's comprehensive enough to get us started.
Awesome. All right, cool. Then we will touch base some more on that at a later time. All right, so Jane, you're up. Let's talk about the survey.
Awesome sauce. I am literally about to enter my apartment complex. Can someone be so kind and share screens real quick as I try to like talk and log on as I
Yes,
enter?
I can do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, you betcha.
Um, I think what we'll start first is because I sent two. Yeah, so I sent two. So that is the template. Could we do long story short, I also developed a template if we so choose to analyze the data. So we'll do the first one. So kind of using a little bit of, artificial intelligence to its assistance and like how we're supposed to use it and not how other people are using it. Um, I use it to help me figure out, just generalized questions that really work on the sense of feeling. And so it helped me create two lists. We have a comprehensive list that goes into different categories or subcategories. As you see there, let me just look real quick. Like I can't read it, like social connections, trust and civic engagement, that, etc. Those four subcategories and various questions underneath. There's also a similar grading frequency scale. So it'd be like strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. So they will respond in that category. And if we would like to scroll down to see the sampled short version, so obviously 40 questions like that is going to be a lot, and we're going to lose interest. So, oh Lord, out of breath. Hold on one second. So I took the opportunity of making a sample one of just picking a few of the questions and then still allowing them both to have an opportunity of an open-ended question. So then we can actually not only get quantitative feedback, but we can get qualitative feedback and see how we can actually do progress and meet actual outcome strategic goals with the data that we have collected from participants. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this.
Does anybody see anybody with more tenure than me see any surprises there with the findings?
From the previous,
Yes.
I actually wanted to go back. I've been walking. I want to go back and review. Was it? But no. But yes and no. Actually, how they're not agreeing or they don't feel satisfied with the way they handle situations. That one
Yeah,
stuck
so
out to me.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
can go back to that. I'm happy to do that.
I'm not surprised at the findings.
I'm not either.
Well, I'm just wondering if this has ever been done before. And Shirley, if you say you're not surprised, then these trends have been pretty consistent to what the survey proved out, it would seem.
I think so.
Then perhaps we alter then and uh I almost want to ask more open-ended questions in a way or alter the wording to I don't know, I just want to ask how can we make it better? That's ultimately what I want to ask.
You know what comes to mind to me is some of those categories that you went over um, can be, put together when it comes to treatment people have seen or witnessed or experienced, either by neighbors or by police or whomever. Maybe those incidents can be, categorized under the same heading.
Mm.
Um, and I don't know what the title would be off the top of my head, but um, something will come up that makes sense. That'll help consolidate that list. And I think you've done a great job of doing that with the last page. And that gives us more direction, I would think.
Yeah, I mean it's just a sample. It's just like cherry picking the various questions from above. If you wanted to do more strategic, but for the questions that we want to go for. If you want to change any of if we want to change any of the phrasing or change any of the trajectory of the subcategories, we can. But I think that template, though, is still effective.
Oh, sure. Sure. It just struck me that, you know, the template is a reflection of all the things that were reported based on the surveys. And my thought was just being able to see all the things that people talked about reflected here.
Mm.
And that way, and I think this is redundant now that I think about it, but in that way, everything's captured. And yet, let me read this for a minute. Feel a sense of belonging. I am proud, connected, township. Yeah, they'll fall under those categories, I guess. Community welcomes. I was just looking for a way to take all that we saw on the as a result of the surveys and placing them together so that all of them are recognized, if that makes sense. Like I see that I feel a sense of belonging. I am proud. I feel included, township. And I think those are the things that we're looking to improve, right?
I think so
Ye-
overall.
Yeah, to get more positive feedback.
And engagement.
Yeah, and engagement. Yeah, okay, so I'm
Yeah.
with it.
Okay, if you could change, if you would change one thing, what would it be to make you feel more? So someone may say that I wouldn't change anything about what's the comments above. If you were to change it, though.
Um, I would say to be able to categorize the comments, because some of them, they're saying the same thing in the way that people have witnessed others being treated, whether for their orientation, whether for their skin color. Um, I just think it could be more direct, I guess.
So if we want to scroll up from the sample on that, yeah, and just scroll up. So do we want to look at the different options? Because I didn't have a chance to color code to show which one was from which, if that would be assistive to see which ones comes from which. But if you don't like, if you like to change a particular phrase to resonate more, um, those are just from the categories. And then again, if we would like to change such subcategories from sense of belonging, identity, social connections and participation, trust and civic engagement, and growth and impact, if we don't like those four categories, then that is subject to change. If so, how will we change those if need be?
If need be, I gotcha. You know what? Here's my thought. Just being able to look at the screen and we're seeing this for the first time. I think you said Joshua was going to send this out to everybody
I believe it has been sent out.
just a bit ago, or
Mm,
But do you mean this was sent out in the in the first edition of the information, or was it sent out lately?
No, Josh just sent it to the committee because Jane made these questions. So Josh just sent it to the committee maybe like an hour ago.
Oh
okay.
well,
All right.
oh,
So
I haven't had a chance to look at it an hour ago. Okay.
yeah, neither have I. So, maybe we can just move past this. I think it's a great idea to be able to look at it.
It's just a
Um,
starting, it's just literally just what I created and it's subject to change.
Right.
It's not set in stone.
I get you. I got it. I
Yeah,
got it. And there may be nothing that needs to be changed. It's just that I didn't have a real grasp because, we're going through the slides and I just felt as though, it deserves a little bit more attention.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So that's what we can do in the interim between this meeting and the next. I also wish there was a way that we could share ideas. I brought this up with Josh um, a couple of meetings ago that we can partner with each other and say, hey, let's work on this together. Let's work on that together so that when we meet again, we have something really saleable to talk about and to make motions on. So I'm hoping there's a way that we can somehow not necessarily right now, but maybe through Josh, just be able to share contact information so that if we need to reach out in the interim between the meetings, we have a means by which to do that.
Did you just ask Josh about that, Phil, or did he get back to you?
No, I asked him before, and I'm pretty sure his response was, you ought to bring that up. And I also said, Josh, if you have any concerns, we can use you as the conduit. We can send contact information through you, and you can disperse it out to us.
Yeah, because I think he said before that if we are meeting with each other outside of the official committee meetings, then we'd be in violation of the open committee rules or whatever the.
Open meeting law.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that would violate that principle, which is why we haven't really been able to do that.
Right. I had expressed the same concern, and he said the same thing to me. That any information that we share, we can do that through him and using him as a conduit for sharing information, and it
Because
will
it's
not,
public record.
right.
Everything's public record.
Right. So, for example, if we want to look at how we can better prepare a document or launch a program, then it'll be great to, have each other's contact information because we're not making necessarily any decisions. We're making progress towards putting forward what decisions we'll act on and will become part of our program, part of our mission, if you will. And we will discuss them in our meetings. What did you find out? Where are we with this? Where are we with that? I mean, even finding funding, um, for some of the things we discussed today, isn't necessarily making a decision. It's just finding funding. And then when we meet, we discuss if there's any funding that's available, we discuss that and, make a motion on it and decide to move forward. I can understand that piece of it. But Josh kind of left me with the feeling that he would be willing to, be the intermediary.
Yeah. Phil, do you
I
want
can,
to? Oh,
sorry,
there's.
I've been in the background. I can help a little bit here. Um, so Phil, yeah, just what I meant by intermediary, is that you're sending stuff to me and I'm dispersing it to the committee. I understand that you'd like to get in touch with some of the committee members, but you guys are such a small committee that as soon as you have three committee members and you start discussing an item, that, it becomes an open meeting law violation. And right now, I'll just be honest. All of the committees are, they're as they should be being scrutinized for to make sure that they're posting meeting minutes correctly, posting agendas correctly, and and looking at how the meetings are being held and things like that. So, my thing is play by the rules, you know, um, get it over to me. I'll send it out to everybody. If you guys need more meetings, do more meetings. That's fine. You guys don't have a limit on how many meetings you can have. Just because of how small you are, it's very easy to hit that open meeting law violation. So, if that, I hope that helps kind of clarify.
Yeah, to a certain extent it does. I think what you're saying is anytime that we want to discuss anything um, about DEIB, that we have to do it in a meeting.
Yeah, because we want to make sure that we're transparent to the public with what we're discussing and what the committees are putting together to recommend. I mean, I know that for the past 3 or 4 committee meetings, there haven't been any members of the public, but we just want to make sure that we are putting what you guys are working on, not only to give you that credit for all the hard work you guys do, but if there are members of the public that are curious about some of the things that you guys are currently working on, that they can come in and maybe be part of that discussion, be involved in some way, things like that. And when you start meeting outside, then you take a lot of that away from what the committee is supposed to be doing.
Okay, I get it. I may have misunderstood. I thought it was possible just to, fine tune what avenues we're going to pursue, and that becomes part of the minutes when we meet. But I get what you're saying, and it will
So
be
you guys can create subcommittees to work on stuff like that. So that would be like, if you and Jane or you and Shirley or you and Ashley wanted to, let's say work on the presentation that's going to town council, you could create a temporary subcommittee. It would be a posted agenda, just like the regular committees, and then you guys could work and you wouldn't have to worry about that open meeting law violation. But what's happening there is that it's being a posted agenda. It would have to be in a public place, accessible, things like that. It wouldn't have to necessarily be on Zoom. You guys could work at the library or something. But it does just have to go through that process.
all right. That's
We,
cool.
yeah, so several of our committees have done that in the past, and just because you create a subcommittee doesn't mean it's like a permanent thing, or you guys got to worry about it. Worry about a constant meeting with it or anything. But that is another choice, and maybe that was what I tried to convey when we had this discussion before. But you guys do have that option.
All right, that's great. And Jane, maybe you can take a little bit of time and think about it. And if that's something that you want to support and other board members want to support, maybe that's something we should pursue. And if it's not, that's understandable. It's just it's a means by which we can be within the guidelines and just propel whatever becomes our priorities, our agenda, a little bit faster.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, Phil, while you're working on this, if Jane wants me to um, send back any type of notes or anything that you guys have on her surveys, we can definitely do it that way in interim. And then at the next meeting, if you guys want to come together and we'll put it on the agenda, create a survey subcommittee. If you wanted to put that together, and then what Ashley would do is she would ask for a motion and then volunteers for that committee. It'd only have to be a couple people. And then you guys could officially vote it into power, and then you would just send your agenda to me, like a quick email, and I could get that posted. Just need 48 hours. You guys come on time, things like that. So, but in the meantime, if Jane would like to hear your guys' feedback that you come up with as you go over the survey, you can send it to me. I'll send it to Jane, and that way, I'll definitely label it. So this is what Phil is recommending. This is what Shirley's recommending. But that way, it isn't getting sent to Jane and then somehow Shirley accidentally gets wrapped up and it becomes an open meeting law violation.
Oh, absolutely. And Jane, that's entirely up to you if you want to support that process or not. That's entirely up to you. If you think it's worthy, then maybe it's something to look into, or we keep going as we have been.
I'm fine with whatever. I'm really like if it works out for all our schedules to meet in person like that and to work in like that, that's totally fine. Um, and then also like it is, we're just public servants, we're public representation, so everything we have to do in public. And I'm fine if it works out for everyone's schedule to meet quorum. I'm also secretary, so it works out. So I have to get all of the notes and then I have to, bring it to Josh for all public records. So if it works out, it works out. Yeah, I'm really easy going. Just don't want to make any mistakes. No violations. This is it. Um, So with that, I don't want to take the hot seat because the hot seat is Lady Ashley's. I don't know why Lady Ashley go. Can I?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
Oh,
and I want to say I'm sorry I've been a little bit MIA for the last 10 minutes or so because my toddler has been screaming her head off in the background. So I meant to say earlier that I think that that's a really good start with the survey, Jean. I think especially if we also want to include a couple of quick demographic items in there, then we'd be able to compare responses between people from marginalized and non-marginalized groups. I think that would be really, really useful. So do we want to make our kind of action item between now and the next meeting that each of us takes a closer look at the survey items, make some notes, jots down some ideas, and then the plan for the next meeting will be that we come together with all of our ideas and decide on what we want our questions to be?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So
yes.
that's all of our action items. Um, shall we take a look at our calendars about scheduling? I know it might get a little funky for the next couple weeks or so.
That's expected. Ashley, right?
Yep.
Yes. I got my names mixed up. I'm so sorry. I
No,
honestly got them mixed up.
do not
Okay, I was
worry.
like, wow, he's really putting a lot of responsibility on Jane.
I know, I
No.
know. It's all about Jane.
Like, hi.
I'm sorry, Ashley.
Gotcha. No, no, that's okay.
I've been doing this all my life.
No, no, don't worry.
I
No,
have four
but
kids and I name them one, two, three, and four.
there you go.
It's okay.
I was sort of thinking while we were having that discussion that if we are unable to meet as a committee for the next couple of weeks, like if the next date that we could set is in like January, then maybe it might be a good idea for us to try to have a in-person subcommittee. So Josh, would we need to vote on that today if we were going to try to do that in the next couple of weeks?
I would say because it's not on the agenda,
Oh,
that the creation of a subcommittee might be out. Let me just take a quick peek at the agenda. I just want to make sure that, you guys, I know that most of you are new to the whole committees, and I want to make sure that I'm walking you through the process correctly,
yeah, no
not
worries.
taking any shortcuts or anything like that.
No, and you're doing it with kindness and care, Josh. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you so much.
Yeah. I honestly, I would say what I would recommend is even if it was just a 5-minute committee meeting, just us posting an agenda that a subcommittee is going to be created for this. Um, just because we don't have anything that's specific that was going to be voted tonight. Um, yeah, I don't think it can really fall under like a generalized agenda item that we have on there right now. So like I said, even if it's just a 5-minute meeting in a couple weeks or next week, whatever, you guys get together, you form the subcommittee. Like I said, you'll uh, ask for a motion to form the, say, survey subcommittee, and then you ask for volunteers, and then it gets voted into effect. And then what we can do there is you let me know that the subcommittee's been created. We'll keep a paper trail. And whoever wants to chair that committee can chair that committee, and then I'll be in touch with them to get their agenda. So they just email me agenda items, and I get it posted for them. And uh, the one thing that we can do in that regard, as far as like emailing everybody, is we can email schedules. So when that subcommittee does get formed, I'll probably just reach out to whoever's on it and just say, hey, what's your schedule? Everybody can reply all in that way. So that's not an open meeting law violation or anything like that, but that would probably be the best way to handle that.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. So
So,
like I said, in the meantime, if you guys want to send me things for Jane to start kind of collecting, send it to me. I'll get it over to Jane for the recommendations for her survey, and then whenever you guys next meet, you can create that subcommittee and they can get working right away.
okay, sounds good. So do we want to look at
Nice.
the calendar 2 weeks from today on Wednesday the 17th? Would that work for everybody?
I'm okay.
I think the 17th is okay. If not, I'll let you know tomorrow.
So 17th.
And is the agenda just going to be for the subcommittee, or do you want to leave it open for the
No,
next week or so?
I think this could be, I think we'll probably put that on the agenda as something that we can vote on,
Yep.
so that if we decide we need it, we're able to. But I think this can be like a regular meeting where we are touching base about our thoughts on certain next steps for the survey.
Yeah, and like I said, if once you guys have this discussion about the subcommittee, if you all feel like you want to, if everybody feels like they want to volunteer, you guys don't have to create a subcommittee. You can say, we like to have 10 DEI committee meetings in a week. I just got to post them all, but yeah. So just so you guys know, you're not forced into the subcommittee, but it is an option.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Does that 17th at 7, does that work for you, Josh?
Yeah. Yep. I
Okay.
just checked my calendar. It's free right now.
Okay. And how about you, Phil? Does that work for you?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, great. Okay, cool. So that's good. So that gives us at least one more meeting before all the holiday craziness, and then at that meeting we'll decide when we're able to get back together in January.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So, all right, well, we've covered all of our new business. Excellent. I don't see any old business or additional items for discussion, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. Who would like to make such a motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Jane,
Aye.
Phil,
Aye.
Shirley. All right, and I also say aye. All right, meeting adjourned at 7:42 p.m. Go team.